You know, I remember last year in one of my Route X lap attack videos in Gran Turismo Sport, I mentioned how Sony did a Uncharted movie, and then I went on saying that I thought it would be cool if they did a Gran Turismo movie instead, and here we are. I don't know how I predicted this, but here we are. And now we're going to begin another episode of Route X Lap Attack, but first, I got a couple of things to get here. Not sure what this is about. But honestly, I don't think I want to know. What I do know, however, is that I got some money waiting for me over here. Because I did a couple of lap times in sport mode. One was with the Dodge Viper at the road course version of Daytona, and then there was another one. Here's this. I also did another one with a Mazda LM55. They call it the time trial. I got this. I seriously could have sworn that I would have gotten like a silver since I had like a 57-second lap time. However, as it turns out, you gotta have a time a little bit faster than that, maybe like 56 seconds. I'll keep plucking away at it, see what I can do, and I definitely want to drive this new Maserati. That's something else I wanted to share with you. The new update, because not only do we have a new Maserati, but we also got the Nissan GTR, as you can probably see here at the bottom of the screen. They're going to have a special version of the GTR as seen in the movie. Two Toyotas, and the 1958 Corvette, which you can actually get right now over here. I would seriously like to buy this thing right now, and I'll get there eventually. But first, we got to upgrade another Subaru for our lap time. We'll get that Corvette eventually, and we'll get it running. But this is what we have to do first. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll be able to afford it. We're not going to get the nitrous. These things we definitely need to get. Polished ports. I remember one time I jokingly called it Polish ports. Like, hey, you need to replace the ports in your engine with these new ports from Poland. That should be everything here. We need the crankshaft. I already have, well, almost everything. And I don't think there's anything else we need over here. So we're good. Now we can get the Corvette. How often do you see all this activity in an episode of Route X Lap Attack? I mean, you're just seeing me getting money from lap times, upgrading cars, buying another car. I am probably going to regret this, but I need this in my collection. I did the same thing with the Citroen DS21, which I've stated many times. I was really happy to have that in my collection. And that music was really beautiful. I probably shouldn't have talked while it was going on, but I'm really happy to have this. I remember, too, in a couple of the older Gran Turismo games, you could have a C1 Corvette just like this, but there were a couple of differences. One was that it was a 1960 C1, and the other difference was the fact that they didn't actually have it in the Chevrolet name. The 1960 Corvette was sold under a different name called Art Morrison, and this was for both Gran Turismo 5 and 6. Now that we got everything necessary, we can check over a few things for the upgrades, and we'll get our time started. We're going to leave that at 100. We probably should be good at about 370. Oh yeah, kilometers an hour. 366 horsepower and 2,260 pounds. Maybe 330. I don't know, 310 just to be safe. I was a little confused with the numbering. I apologize for that. I don't know what was going on in my head, but everything should be fine now. I mean, it doesn't really make much of a difference in performance anyway, where we have the top speed set to. And it looks like it says automatically adjusted too, so should be fine. Just double check everything else here. Oh yeah, we don't need a supercharger because we already got the turbocharger. Everything else looks fine. Let's begin. One day I'll try the meeting place, see what that's like. I'm also thinking about repainting the Subaru that I'm using right now. Honestly though, I like blue. I like the shade of blue we already have. I might keep it. The only thing I was considering regarding repaint was maybe jade green. That's honestly all I could think of. Turbo sounds good. Everything sounds good. Still amuses me a little bit that Subaru and Toyota would form an alliance to build different variations of this car that looked exactly the same, but obviously they would have like different badges and names. Toyota still has their 86. Subaru still calls this the BRZ. I remember Scion even got in on this at one point before their bankruptcy. That was pretty much the only good car they made. Scion was shit. There's a reason it only lasted for 13 years. Unfortunately, I saw a couple of their cars when I was at work yesterday. I had to try really, really hard not to throw up in front of this one guy because he drove in a 2004 Maroon XB. Literally one of the ugliest cars I've ever seen. I had to try really hard not to throw up in front of the driver. Also, some good news from Studio Route 29. My comic will finally be published on Tuesday. They're giving it a pretty good amount of publicity. I also shared it on Facebook and Instagram with my friends and family. I'm getting a lot of support from many wonderful people. And we're also doing a voiceover version. Well, we already finished it. We're going to show it at Studio Route 29's Films for Friends event on Tuesday, just a few days from now. Really excited to be there. Don't know why I just yawned. Perhaps it's because I had a very busy morning. Well, not really busy, but early morning, filming trains on Amtrak's Northeast Corridor at Princeton Junction in Hamilton. But back to Films for Friends. They're going to be debuting my comic. Not only will we be selling copies of it, but they're also going to have a voiceover version for people to see. And the reason for the voiceover version is because there's a lot of people that go to the studio sometimes, and while they make their own art, like sculptures or a few other things you can think of, they unfortunately don't have the ability to read. So it's nice to give them a version that they can enjoy, like let them listen to all the different voices and sound effects. And for those that want to read the actual copies, be very happy to see how people enjoy it. Right now we got a speed of 184. The only car I can probably think of that will be beating on that lap time or the leaderboard right now is the Demio. Our one and only Mazda so far with a lap time of I don't remember what, but I know the top speed was like 165. Slower than this. Maxed out at just under 8,000 RPM according to this thing. We're still doing good. We got a nice speed of 185 going. We're not supposed to be going over this line though. Now I'm hearing some clicking sound. Should I be concerned? Stopped. Maybe it's what I'm passing, I don't know. We got the tunnel coming up. The clicking sound is coming from my Subaru. We'll be done soon. Just keep going. This is the car's inaugural run too. I mean, I haven't used it in months since I first got it. And I don't know if that actually affects the car in the game. But if it does, I'll probably have to get more money to fix that. Good to warn though. Sounded great. I kind of want to see though if I can have this camera angle where you're at the front of the car, but you slowly go backwards and try to duplicate the Star Wars opening title crawl with all the numbers on the straightaways here. Oh wait, I don't want to change traction control. Now my eye's itchy for some reason, but at least we got everything finished with a time of 6 minutes and 12 seconds. I really wanted to say 11, but it's 12. The 11 preference, not only would it be a little bit faster, but also, as you may have remembered from all the different times I've been talking about trains here and there, I'm a rail fan. Hey, we actually did beat another car. I thought we were only going to beat the Mazda Demio Laughing Face, but it appears that we have also beaten the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. We're also a little bit slower, well, much slower than the other BRZ we tested earlier. That at a time of 540, and we got 612. Well, while I'm modifying the Corvette that I just bought, the 1958 convertible, we've got two more Mazdas coming up. They will be the 1991 Miata as well as the 2015. Well, I don't know if the first generation Miata is a 91, but you know what I'm talking about. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time.